Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. Jay, this is one of the things that I wanted us to talk about because I think this channel is designed to point out some of these types of things. It's something that you and I have discussed on this channel multiple times, and it highlights something that I think is evident to a lot of people, even though they don't necessarily have the ability to articulate this. And I think it's the underlying reason why many people do not like Shakur Stevenson and Terrence Crawford. And it's because they come off as inauthentic. And I think this is a prime example of their inauthenticity. So recently, Two-Tone the Superstar, and I have no qualms with this gentleman. I've seen him on Twitter on several occasions, but he said something that made absolutely positively no sense whatsoever here recently. Jay, I'm gonna read this tweet. And before I even get into this tweet, Jay, I'm going to say this because I know there are going to be people in the comments section saying that we're haters. Although we're literally pointing out factual information, they're going to say we're haters. And you know what? I don't give a shit what you think. And normally I don't curse on these videos, but I'm so sick of people saying we're hating when we're just pointing out realities of situations. Okay, Mr. Two-Tone the Superstar had this to say. Shakur Stevenson, first pay-per-view, hits 340,000 buys. Bro definitely has silenced the critics. And then Shakur had the nerve to repost it and say this. Beat the odds. Do numbers. Remain humble. What in the blue fuck are you talking about? You were the third fight from the main event. The main event was the undisputed light heavyweight championship. Arthur Beterbiev versus Beterbiev-Bivol. You fought an electrician. More people watched that fight to see Vergil Ortiz versus Israel Majmov than they did to watch you fight. You didn't hit on shit. Nothing. Not a damn thing. Nobody bought that fight to see you fight the electrician. Why would you even post that? So now you are trying to create a narrative that you have demonstrated pay-per-view numbers and create that narrative for your fans to get behind to say you do numbers. You don't do shit.
Not a damn thing.
And that is the reason why people like myself, when we see you, we do not gravitate towards you because you're disingenuous. You come off as inauthentic. Stay humble. Do numbers. What the fuck are you talking about? Jay,
none of it.
Man, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, when I saw it, I sent it to you. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, Two-Tone set him up. Two-Tone set him up, and he took the bait for whatever reason. He shouldn't have taken. He should have just let that go past. He didn't have to retweet it. He didn't have to comment on it or nothing. You know, because it makes him look foolish. You were the co-main to the co-main. You know, no one really cared about you fighting the electrician. You were fighting Floyd Schofield initially. People were intrigued just to see it, but you weren't the driving force on this fight card. You weren't. Also, need I remind you, this fight card was held in a 6,000 capacity location, from a 25,000 to 6,000. So you weren't the big ticket guy here, man. You weren't. Chill with that. This is your first pay-per-view. I remember last year they tried to get you on a pay-per-view and they tried to do finagle some little back channel stuff, and it didn't work out neither. It ended up being free. So this one could have been free too with you, because you didn't do this. And this, remember, this is the world, guys. The world, not this US, the world. Tank did 260, reportedly 260 in the US by himself fighting someone they said he shouldn't have been fighting. It was a cherry pick and disrespecting Lamont Roach like he ain't nobody. And he did 260. Shakur, you didn't do 340. That card did 340. You may have contributed a little bit, and in the US, it's reported they only did about 50K. So it's not comparison. There's no comparison. This ain't no I'm doing this. You ain't do nothing, dude. It was $25 for the pay-per-view. And a lot of y'all can't do math real well, but I'll tell you, that's around 8.5 million. Tank's 260 was about 22 million or so. It's not a comparison. So this 340 worldwide, this ain't nothing. And Shakur, you weren't the driving factor on this. To your point, Greg, you fought an electrician on a 3-day notice. More people were. I was more geeked out about the Vergil and Madrimov fight. That was the fight I wanted to see, and of course, the main event. Heck, even the co-main event with Parker versus Bacoli. People were intrigued about that because people saw what Bacoli did to Jared Anderson. You were after dark, my boy. So you taking this credit here for something that you ain't doing. These numbers ain't that good when you look at the overall picture of everything. Stop it, Shakur. You're a great fighter, but chill with this, dog. You don't sell. You weren't the driving force.
Yeah, trying to figure out a way to take credit for a pay-per-view is wild to me. I mean, it's the ultimate cap. You are capping beyond belief. Yeah, it's essentially exactly what you just said. It's nasty work. And that's what your fans are always talking about. How is it possible that you're sitting up here and trying to take credit for a pay-per-view number that you were the third person on the card? Literally the third from the last fight on the card, and you're trying to figure out a way to claim 340 pay-per-view buys. I mean, and you say that you are a real dude? Like you're claiming that you are a real guy. That's something that you're trying to sell. That's one of your marketing vehicles, that you are a real individual. This is inauthentic, Shakur. When you try to claim pay-per-view numbers that you had absolutely nothing to do with, that is inauthentic. And to the point that you made earlier, Jay, in a situation where you were charging, if they would have charged $80, $90 for this pay-per-view, it would have done even less in terms of overall sales, right? So the gate was putrid. The actual number based off of the $25 and the 340 whatever pay-per-view, 340,000 pay-per-view sales, that's putrid, right? So I get it. I hear you. If you want to say, hey, I contributed to it, whatever. But certainly I would not take any credit for it, really, in that regard. I would have probably just allowed that to just go on by, and I would have been done with it. But the fact that you tied yourself to that post is inauthentic, is cap, is whatever adjective you want to call it. That's what it is. And that is the reason why there's a certain contingent of fans that have absolutely no love for Shakur Stevenson, and they're not interested in supporting him. It is what it is. You guys let us know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Anger Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and we are